EP.29, take 50.
Let's go.
Action.
Okay. We are back again with another epic episode of the LNR podcast. My name is SK, aka Uncle SK.
Okay.
What's good? Intro yami inde kakhulu. Right.
Perfect.
Good
So
job.
ngizwile
Why
bathi
is that upside down?
bathi niyithanda intro yami.
Uba that's intro yakho.
Producer.
Producer.
Guys, we've had that intro for the
I like
longest
it.
of time.
I like
Yeah,
it.
was
Why
good.
namhlanje bayinde?
Yeah, asazi. Producer. Uthi funa
Miss Producer.
1212.
Miss Producer must chill.
So yeah, Ninja Prophet, are you good?
We're good. How are you?
I know. I'm okay. I'm okay. Ngiyaphila shem, ngiyaphila. Shabalala. Ninjani? Yeah. See.
Welcome back.
Welcome back,
Ndodana
Shabalala.
yolahleko.
So guys, I don't know. Should we start with what caught your eye during the week?
How are we? I'm fine.
Nginibuzile.
Yazi ubuzile,
Yazi
yasazi
ngibuzile.
ukuthi how are
Really?
you?
Yeah.
We're okay. Sabuza.
Akekho okay. Namhlanje she not okay.
I am okay.
She's not
I'm
okay.
Yeah.
She's okay.
fine.
So what's good? Unjani Fifi?
I'm okay.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Thank you for finally arriving.
Like
Siyabonga.
Hour
Excuse.
and a half later.
Bro.
Sorry.
I.
I was sure ukuthi
Time
singasho.
management.
I was sure
We
ukuthi
were on
singasho.
late.
I just want to say that
Yeah,
time.
Others
yeah.
later than others.
I just want to say that time management in this podcast
Yeah.
is a serious
Mara, we
issue.
get it done. Ma.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ekugcineni.
Okay, at
Really?
the end of it all.
Really.
So yeah, ladies, I don't know. Should we start with the what caught your eye?
Yeah,
What
caught
happened?
my eye? Actually, last week, remember you were saying something about floods and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you see what was happening in Dubai?
In Dubai. I know.
What?
That was hectic.
That was hectic.
That was
That's
hectic.
scary.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there like hoping good see everybody who's that side is safe. And then there were also people who are on vacation that side. Imagine if it's your day to come back home and
Imagine going
That
to Dubai for the
happens.
very first time in the hype and you're so excited and that's
Sure.
what happens.
Yeah.
I would have been upset. Literally been upset.
Apparently, I read somewhere. I don't know how true this is.
Yeah.
Uhuti, like Dubai doesn't get a lot of rain,
Rain.
right?
True.
Yeah.
So they
True.
are actually, I don't know if I can say manufacturing,
Yeah.
but they are making their own artificial
Yeah.
rain. So they're messing with nature,
Yeah.
and apparently that's part of the reason why what happened.
Yeah.
And also
It's rain
because
seeding or something.
yeah,
Yes.
and also
yes.
what is it?
Rain
Rain
seeding.
Rain
Seeding.
seeding.
Rain
Yes, I saw
I
that.
read that as well.
Yeah, and also apparently, obviously because it doesn't rain a lot, so the drainage system is not designed
Yeah.
to
For-
take
A
Yeah.
lot of
to
rain.
capacitate that much rain.
yeah.
Yes, so
But also need to
Yeah.
remember that Dubai is in a desert, was a desert. When everything else was built, it was built on a desert. And it is an extremely dry place. So like you said, apparently they haven't had that kind of rain over 75 years. So I when I read the very same article of the
Rain seeding.
rain seeding, so I was not too sure whether it's because they had those artificial clouds that were made because they wanted to produce rain, or is it because it was actual rain? So I'm just quoting.
but
I'm not
that
too sure.
bad from
Was
not
bad
having any rain to
To
floods.
yeah.
Yeah. And that much rain in just 24 hours. Yeah, it was.
But then
it was
that's the
crazy.
thing. Like then it rained for how many days? Like was it 2 or 3 days? And then the following day it was just like clear blue skies as if nothing happened.
Just a regular
But-
day.
Sure. But Dubai, ubona lapho ukuthi yazi imali yabantu banemali abantu.
Yeah,
Did
true.
you see kunama boatway imoto? The Lamborghini is on boats.
Boats.
in just
Must have been
a
nice.
day or two.
Yeah.
They had that. So yeah, bantu baphila kamnandi.
Bayaphila ne bathu
Yeah,
baphila
yeah.
mo life
Yeah,
yeah.
baphila kamnandi.
Kapile.
Hayi,
Shame.
Siphele
yeah.
sizothini mhlawumbe nathi ngabe si-right manje ngithi
We're
government
in this Cyril
Nazo-
Ramaphosa economy.
Nazo-
Soze.
Listen, we're not gonna go that
So
way.
so kuzi juice nama ice.
actually we are, I think. Fufu, your side.
So what did I see? Oh yes, the 16-year-old girl
Yes.
with an iPhone 15
Tako.
celebrating 4 years anniversary. 16 with a 40-year-old man.
40.
40-year-old pastor.
Yeah.
So Ugel went on social media, took a video, and it's like, my boyfriend just got me an iPhone 15,
Le
celebrating.
boyfriend in a 40.
Yes.
Boyfriend. Le.
Boyfriend and I'm 40, celebrating 4 years anniversary. She's 16. She was in school uniform when she was, taking that video. And I love ex-users. They actually investigated until they found the pastor. So when I read this morning, apparently, I'm not too sure if how true is that, our producer who happens to work in a newsroom can confirm that apparently he has been arrested.
Good.
Has he, Cindy?
No, not yet. False news. False news.
Yeah,
false news.
but mele abortion for ukuthi kwenziwe example, because we can't live in a society where we kwenzeka izinto eziso and it's just another day, it's okay.
Pedophilia is such a serious thing, and I don't think we take it seriously as South Africans, eh? I don't understand how I would allow my teenage daughter to come home with an iPhone 15.
Do my parents know? That's another thing. And my parents are yazini, because sometimes I know when I was in high school there was a certain somebody who got a phone from somebody, and their parents didn't know. So they puma masiza eskolweni.
Yeah.
So I don't think ukuthi again, like, it must be something that we, I don't know, like, address to parents or whatever. It's them. You are. How do you, as a man on a 40, see a child on a 12 or 13 as a girlfriend?
Exactly.
Let's address that.
And say to this child, you're very matured for me.
Jani. That's the thing. Like, let's address that. Let's not look at, well, the parents should do this, or the child must do this, or because the problem is on this man who's 40, who approaches this child. Because I also think, Uguti, this child is not can be influenced. You're not matured. You don't, when ujabulisa nje ukuthi une iPhone, ujabulisa ukuthi this man ukwazi ukwenza izinto. And also, men like that are usually manipulative.
Very.
And vele umntana omncane ona 12 was in 13, what do you know?
Hence I say that pedophilia is something that's very serious. It also goes back to who's raising you. Because I would definitely fault that mother. Like, how are you okay with this? Angeke if ngingazi umntana mona 16 habit yakhe ne behavior ne routine yakhe ukuthi njani. And obviously with her coming home with certain kinds of food, certain kind of clothes, and iPhone 15, and as a parent, I'm quiet about that. I don't say anything.
Do you think we always know, though?
I think we always know. You know your child. You know your child.
You must know. I mean, okay, fine. Kunezinye izinto ongeke uzazi, but some of the things, because she posted on social media. As soon as you know as a parent ukuthi umntanakho she's on social media, you must be attentive of things.
Guys, remember, you know, sometimes like I would walk and I would see kids like when umntana esikole ugqoka iskate nje osibonayo ukuthi akunamzali ozovuma umntwana aphume akanje. But where's the parent then? Some parents leave work at 5, come back at 5.
Yeah, but some parents decide not to kuza ingane zabo.
No, I understand. There is that element, but what I am saying is not that as a parent, because sometimes I feel like because we're not in that situation, we think of it as like I won't, or not me, or not my child. Or I don't think that there's a parent who's in their sober mind who would just watch things happening. Like, you come back with takeaways, you come back and not say anything. So I'm talking from a point of, but what if you really genuinely don't know? Because at the end of that, like, parent futsi manje, in this generation that we live in, parents are busy, guys. Like, even if, I'm not saying we are too busy for our kids, but what I'm saying is there is a chance that you might not know, looking at how these kids are also. We understand. Uyafihla umuntu into ungayazi uzomangala. And sometimes it's all good about Makelan. You know how Makelan would always be like, oh, lawyer no tumtanake will never do that. Uyas marugutu fufu wenza nan. Do you understand? It's all good when as a parent genuinely
you don't know.
But my problem here is this man.
True.
I feel like sometimes we don't hold the people that we're supposed to hold accountable. You know, we always looking at but also you as a the problem. Nai root cause. For me, the full blame of this whole situation rests on this man who is 40 years old.
No, you're right. But let's give it blame also to the parents as well, because we understand with their parents who as much as sitting the kunabo baba bama deadbeat, kunabo mama bama deadbeat who about decide I'm not gonna be involved, or even though I'm not decide per se I'm not gonna be involved, but they are not involved in their kids' lives.
Yeah.
Kube khona labo ukuthi kuzigrows endlini. So why men complain?
Because this 40-year-old man is providing for us blindly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that I understand, and I don't discredit that. But I'm saying let's extend grace, because sometimes parents don't know.
I agree.
And sometimes we because we have never been in those situations, like we think that, like, I would never. But then you discover, actually.
I think, well, with me it's different. I'm raising a 16-year-old. Mm-hmm. So hence I saying that as a parent, an observant parent, and a parent who knows umntwana, you would always know. You would know. Like, I think there was an incident where my daughter came, home with a new T-shirt. I'm like, I didn't buy that. Mm-hmm. Mom, did you buy that? Dad, did you buy that? So where did you get the T-shirt from? Mm-hmm. No, I got this T-shirt from so. Okay, thank you. Can I have it? Like, I wear the T-shirt because there's no child of mine you're going to be now bringing clothes at home.
Yes.
And I don't even know where it comes from. Because also, I'm also enforcing that discipline, Guti. You're not going to be receiving gifts from whoever and be gracefully wearing them blindly.
But do you think that really there's parents who sit and say, oh yeah, because... and I understand there's exceptions.
Yeah.
There's a minority who will say yes because grocery is coming. Because, but if you're a parent and you I don't think that ungavelu bege now okay, this is happening, guza my phone, guza in, and you would be okay with that. I don't think so.
Gune video about gune video yakhe lo mntwana. I think bekathweka no mamake on the video. So that shows the dynamic of the relationship they have, the mother relationship, a mother-daughter relationship. They were twerking kanjani video as opposed online.
She was drinking. Not that we are saying she shouldn't drink.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that video also threw me off because she was speaking about groove with this child. This child is 16.
Exactly.
As a mother, what are you teaching this child?
Okay.
So we've seen.
I think then with that perspective now that you're bringing to light, I can understand why. Mina, my thing is, can men be fully held accountable for what they do?
Of course.
100%.
And that's where the root cause is. However, like I'm saying, I'm not dismissing as a parent you must be ignorant to your child or whatnot, but there's genuine parents who don't know. And I don't think that as a parent in your full capacity, ungavumela umntwana ukuthi aze nezinto endlini or whatever the case might be, and allow the situation to happen.
Sure.
But when you're saying ukuthi, oh, there's another video that now it gives me perspective, oh, okay, then maybe there is negligence la endlini.
Sure.
With regards to the specific one.
Yeah, so there's another YouTuber who was talking about it's nothing new. It's nothing new nanani. Azangilandele kakhulu lento le, but I disagree with what she was saying. As much as obani konje was but okay. The thing is, if I can tell just a quick story.
Yes.
I remember at school, I think I was in grade 11, grade 12. At school, when there was a teacher, and and teachers who knows about easy messenger, but they keep quiet. There was a child, no teacher at school. I would say almost everyone knew about that situation, and I was president the RCL, so I raised that thing with the principal Nanan. But unfortunately, we are born into good bias. They're trying to cover it. Lomtana begaza nalo teacher from endlini besahlala naye so elokishini, so last hlala khona it was more like a village abo teacher labahlala mhlawumbe elokishini nanani, so begeza naye ngestaff. She was pregnant at some stage. Everyone knew ukuthi lo upregise lo, and we raised it with the principal Nanan, but they brushed it off. Nothing was done. So it goes back. Yes, I understand when she says it's nothing new, but it doesn't necessarily mean kuti it's something that we should keep quiet about. Men, older men, I agree with you. Older men should be held accountable for lezi zinto lezi ezirong abazenzayo. You understand?
Statutory rape.
Yeah, it is. It is. As much as ukuthi angazi ukuthi is there a way mhlambe niyaziyo ukuthi mhlambe let's say umntwana yes law under 16 I'm pretty sure ukuthi uzothi azange angijoli naye uzospika even if mhlambe sithi kena I'm here to open a case on behalf of 1 2 3 I don't know how they do it but lo ngendlela ajabule ngayo because she's celebrating online yena uzibiza ngomama Ruti nani you understand so she's happy about the situation and she's like I'm happy ukuthi ivelile indaba ye the whole situation because now iyamsiza because she's getting traction obviously she's getting followers you understand
this is the child
yeah okay. This is so uyabona ukuthi akusekho kuna something asekho right
not asekho right mncane
exactly
like you're just immature guys like you
nangaphandle kwaloko guys the immaturity I just feel like your society is and social media are leading on these kids because I don't understand how she's 16 and she's an influencer.
Yeah.
To me, that
also,
threw me off. Like, I don't understand how are you a 16-year-old and you are a social media influencer at 16?
And also, ngisho manje she's gaining traction. There are people who are starting to follow her now. You understand? Ilento efana neyabothando. It goes back to ilento yabothando. Bona umntwana uyathweka wenzani and all the men bayafollowa lapha yana thola ukuthi kunama 40 years
why guys like I think like ngiyanizwa ne like hear me correctly
sure.
Like I hear you properly
yeah
I think my issue is the fact that like I feel like yes you explained that this might happen she's an influencer she's this but I think my problem is we end up dwelling on the other things and not this.
Yeah.
Like we end up going in so much on zooming in so much on
why
this child is doing this. Why is she the influencer?
Yeah.
Why is she why is the parent this? Why is the parent this? Why is the no? Why is this man looking at this child and seeing a potential girlfriend?
100%.
I think that's my line of thought. Yeah. Can the conversation not steer away from the main problem?
Yeah.
To saying okay, but and I'm not saying that we are wrong, and I'm not saying she can't be because that's the thing. Like there's influencers that are 13, but they
for
are
13-year-olds.
They are 13-year-old influencers that have done amazing things, and they have thrived in their careers as influencers. Maybe they're doing poetry, maybe they're doing dance, maybe they're doing whatever. So the problem is not that she's an influencer at 12.
Yeah,
like.
I get what you mean.
The problem is not that she's an influencer at 12. The problem is that this man has now seen this one as a potential girlfriend. Wamlanda, wamshela. She's only 13. If foresight yake is only here, you understand?
True.
And 13-year-old guys, like I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. I can't speak about any kind of maturity at 13 years old, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure, maybe, I don't know, if I was born in this generation, how social media is, how social pressures are, how everything is just glitz and glam. Maybe Nami, I wouldn't fall victim to that. Do you understand? But the crux of my issue is that every time that there is an issue, we always moving towards what could have caused it, what could have. And I mean, right now, so we let this conversation with that, right? Yeah. We've only spent so few minutes on discussing this guy, right? But we've spent so much time
with her,
with her mom, with parenting, with. Can men be held accountable fully for their part?
True.
Because I feel like if you're not this whole situation wouldn't happen. The mom wouldn't have to be careful. Yeah. The child wouldn't be thinking we're too famous manje and getting traction and if he wasn't there. So that is the core problem that I feel like the discussion needs to be around.
No, agabosh.
Exactly.
If Snendlela, you know why I brought back some of the things that I brought in some of the things that I brought in. My thing is I feel like there are, other than the pastor himself, there are other pedophiles out there who are saying, okay, I lona uyangeneke. That's why I said there are people, all the men who decide now they're gonna follow this kid or tweka mhlambe online or utando who's always about boys, men, nabo pastor watwati abadala, you understand?
No, Pastor 99.
Pastor 99, you understand? So there are other men, utuna foot, then you follow a young kid. Owens is in desi wrong. Or twekayo, owenzan. So that's why I'm saying, Uguti, there are other men who have the same mentality as umfundisi. I agree with you. Umfundisi akuthola, and the problem also ngabafundisi ukuthi the first people abazobavikela are the congregants.
Yes,
exactly.
But
always the case.
Yeah. But ngeke ubaba ngeke, even if proof ikhona naye.
It's always, wasn't it Pastor Makamo allegedly also went through the same thing with a younger person who was at church. I get what you're saying, Fifi, 100%, but the thing is, does society hold these men accountable? Because
No,
I
we
feel
don't.
like at this point even the law is not holding these men accountable,
But that's what I'm
because there
saying.
should be a law, or there should be umthetho okhona when it comes to statutory rape and as well as pedophiles.
And
But any that we overlook
Yeah.
here, which is an issue, is money and provision.
Yeah.
Because if this 40-year-old man is able to lure these young kids, they know that I have money, I'm capable of doing that. And that's why it goes back to, well, a lot of people are not going to say anything about it, because I'm assuming congregation iyazi, umfundisi, mhlambe, the members of the church were bought to say, you're not going to say anything about it.
No,
But then maybe it's not even about the I don't know, like I just feel like at the core of it is how messed up are you as a person. Like for me, my mind gravitates towards that. You are just a messed up human being.
Yeah.
Because in as much as there's people who have money, there's people who have influence, but they are responsible with that. Where now, what kind of a human being are you to feel that with the money that you have and the power that you have, you can buy people and you can lure abantwana abancane to dating you, and you can. For me, I think the crux of it is, what kind of a man are you in society? And I think when you say, Guti, society, does society hold these men accountable? No, they don't. And that's why I would like the conversation to change and drift away from what has influenced to you. I'm messed up. You are a messed up human being.
You're
So that even if this person can come on this podcast, they can know, but hey, the problem is you.
Yeah.
Like, we are not going to talk about.
The
We're not going to.
Dombazane.
Yeah, like.
But I feel like it's also always justified, because look at R. Kelly, now everything, the fact that, he had molested so many young girls throughout his musical career was overlooked of the fact that he was molested at a young age. So they'll always look at it as he's not well because he might have had a bad childhood. He might have been raped by a certain uncle in the family.
But
they always overlook it, like that. And sometimes they overlook the fact that it's a disease. Pedophilia is, in fact, a disease.
But kokunye ukusa nje.
Get
I think ubaba lo mele, number one, mela bosh, legal actions must be taken. Abazali, if mhlambe the parent still has something in or I don't know, ubaba no mama if bakhona, if they have something ukuthi umntanethu into enje yakumela ngayenzeka indlule nje kungakabi khona umuntu othatha I fall for yona. Usile number one.
Yes.
Kunabantu abadlwengulwa basasebancane, but they turn out to be better people in life. There are people othola ukuthi bakhule banganabazali, but they decided ukuthi ke mina ngizoba umzali enganeni yami. So sometimes it's a matter of you building yourself from lento ekuzwisa ubuhlungu. How can you feel pain and
help.
decide ukuyozwisa omunye umuntu pain?
Yes,
Yeah.
get help. Like,
Yeah.
seek help.
If you feel-
if you see and
Yeah.
you can feel which when you have a certain problem,
Yeah.
like, get help
To
so that
listen.
we don't
Yeah.
find these kind of
But I still say, yes, as much as they can get help. But I feel like, with guys like that who have money, they literally can do whatever they want. Because look at
Sometimes it's a power thing.
Yeah, it's a power thing. Because look at
Yeah.
the whole P. Diddy and Cassie case. She was willing to spill the beans and say, this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
Until P. Diddy said, let's
Here's the
settle.
money.
outside of court. Immediately within 24 hours, she retracted the statement.
Sure.
But do you also not think that now speaking of the law, right?
Yeah.
Do you also not feel that, because I feel like there's also a lot of women that are raped,
Yeah.
ne, and they don't say anything about it because angeke ngi-abuse SK and then I have to stand in court ngibukane no SK ngilwiswe and have to justify myself and have to explain myself, and it gets so gruesome that they will ask you things that are so detailed, man. Like some women literally don't speak up because I'm not ready for
Like
that. I'm not ready
like the
to.
Cheryl Zondi
Yes,
child. I
like
remember
I-
that.
You know, things like having to be asked, why were you quiet for the past 10 years?
Exactly. I was
Yeah.
quiet because of what you're asking me right now.
Yeah. I
The
didn't want to go through
What
this.
you're doing right now is the reason why I was quiet. Because I don't want to take the stand. I don't want to be victimized again.
Yeah.
I don't want to be abused and then stand on the stand again and justify why this man should be held accountable for what he did.
Sure. Talking about children, ne? Yo. Yeah, inzima, but hopefully something will happen to Lobaba.
And what happens? Sorry.
Yeah.
What happens when
Yeah.
when a case maivulwa?
Yeah.
What happens? Like, who opens the case? Is this child able to open the case? Can the parents open the case
The
on her
parents
behalf? Can like when's
I think
how does that go?
The parents can open the case, but they need to have proof that there is something going on. Uyalala nalengane, because now statutory rape mele ibihambisane nalo. Because lengane ngasho ukuthi I've never slept with this man.
I was about to say.
Unginike nje imali phela bekanginike imali. So it's like, okay, it was just gifts.
Or he can say, I never slept with her and
Yeah.
bribe the cops.
Never
And the
slept.
family as well.
Never-
Because
nev-
he can say, listen, let's settle this out of court. Here's money. I'm sorry for putting you through all the troubles. I'll stay away from Umtanen. But because you as parents have received money and uyambona ukuthi usaqhubeka useza la endlini. But because you guys had already received this money,
Yeah.
you guys are not going to say anything about it.
Sure.
Sick
So
men
that's
out
what
there,
I
hey?
say, Guti, before we even get to the men, and I understand they need help, 100%. The entire blame should be on them, but I also blame the parents.
Lo baba lo akadinga usizo manje. Yazi usizo alidingayo
I
manje.
don't. I disagree
Lo
with that one.
usizo alidingayo manje because sekumoshakele. Usizo lokuthi ahamba ejele.
Yeah.
Bathi correctional
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yathola usizo lapha bam
Actually.
rehabilitate aboshiwe lapha yana.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate part ilento esisho ukuthi it might happen ukuthi baphike lo mntana usangasho ukuthi hayi she never raped me,
Nothing
she never
happened.
slept with me, sharp. Abazalwane they must change their minds because imali edliwe lo mntwana imali yama iPhone, imali yomnikelo.
Imali yami yethayi.
Hayiyo.
Imali yami
Ah,
yethayi.
come on. Yes.
Mina nganikela
hayiyo.
ngokweshumi.
Exactly.
Wena mfundisi uyahamba uyothengela.
iPhone.
Hayi.
Yeah. But yeah, si deep sizolo sisifollow the story ne sibone ukuthi kwenzakalani, but I hope ukuthi something should start rolling, like mele kube khona into eyenzakalayo. Talking about children ne emakhaya with families, children favoritisms. Have you guys experienced something enjalo? Kube khona lo thandwa kakhulu or wena uthandwa kakhulu? Angike ngixoxele. Ufu ngathi kuna something.
I'm the
Talk to me.
favorite. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
No,
And
I
the
think-
favorites sometimes they don't say.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
say and they know. Like,
Yeah.
I think my brother, because we are two. So
Yeah.
I have a younger brother. I'm the oldest Tekai.
Sure.
And I think we've known this, my brother and I, and our parents would always be like, no, Santana know it equally, and be like, whatever. We know. So I happen to be my dad's favorite.
Yeah.
And my brother happens to be my mom's favorite. So they're probably going to watch this and be like, no, you're wrong. We know this. Like, we
Yeah.
know. You. So I think it's been like that. And I think my brother and I are okay. There were certain instances which vele noma ngayi complainer kumama. Favorite child yakhe vele angeke azasho anything. Same thing with me now. He would be like, yeah, well, your dad's not going to say anything because your
Yeah.
dad loves you, you know. So it never brought any sibling rivalry between us. I think me and my brother would just fight
Yeah.
because of the casual sibling rivalry. But
Rivalry.
yeah, we were it wasn't that deep with
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
But do you not think, right?
Sorry, before Shabalal, can you please make a plan with this Lokanya logo?
The lights.
Yeah.
lights.
Sure,
Okay.
continue. Sorry.
Okay. So is the plan made?
Also
Uzamnali plan like ubekele that thing.
awuzayifaka beka naye nenye phezulu lapha Shabalala just ingafike lo Shabalala
Oh, sorry.
emva kwakho ne
It's me. The
Yeah.
lights shine.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah, sure okay continue please hello Sezan oh sorry
I feel like now you pulled it down a lot. Yes, yeah, go
Sorry,
podcast
sorry.
namhlanje.
how does it look now sure okay
Yeah, so I wanted to ask Fufu, right? I'm just listening to you, right? I think
Yeah.
that maybe I might be wrong, I don't know. I think that you guys didn't have any sort of rivalry or whatnot because you both had your parents.
Yeah.
Like this one was favoring this one and this one
Yeah.
was favoring this one.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a balance. Like if I complain, nami mosubaba mungthanda ukudlula lona,
Yeah,
and
you know,
na.
nalo
So I
munye
can't.
uzongizwa.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was kind of a balance in your household,
Yeah.
fortunately.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it wouldn't bring about some of obviously the things that I think we're gonna unfold
Yeah.
as we go. That's why it didn't bring on the sibling rivalry and whatnot, because it was just a balance, man.
Yeah.
It was just
No, and we
what
were
it
cool.
was.
Hence, I'm saying that it was absolutely not that deep. But I
Yeah.
knew if I went to mom to complain about my brother, like I was always going to be the one who's going to be set straight, like you know. And when I went to dad to complain about my brother, my dad would be like, "Okay, Wandile, your sister's old, respect."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, or
So it was a
sometimes I wouldn't even go
balance.
to mom because I'm like, I already know what you're gonna say
Which is
about your
a
son.
teen.
It's fine. Let me go to Daddy-O and let's. But I love how our entire childhood life and even now, they will always be like, "Sintana fun," you know, and we would look at each other and like, yeah,
We
whatever.
know.
We-
Yeah.
Dad, I know you love me. It's just that you don't want to admit it, but I know deep down,
Yeah.
I'm your girl, you know.
Okay.
so wena sisi bekunjani ekhaya
So I'm
you were the
young.
favorite
I'm the
Yeah.
young.
You know why I think she's the favorite?
Yeah, yeah.
Because she always speaks about her dad
Ne.
all the time.
No, but
Like you
guys,
always speak about your dad.
because I love my dad so much.
Yeah.
Guys,
talk to us yeah
Yeah, I think
They're
you're
only-
your dad's
I
favorite.
don't. No, definitely not. I think our parents. Okay, I know that maybe there's undertones. Maybe I don't know. Mina, for me, I think our parents might have favorites, but I don't think they show it.
Yeah.
Like they don't. Like I never know if I'm my dad's favorite or my sister's my dad's favorite.
Yeah.
I same with my mom. I don't know who's the favorite. So I feel like with my parents, they have different relationships with both of us.
Mm-hmm.
So like my dad can spend hours with my sister on the phone, but nah, I'm not that like. I'm not like
Yeah.
I love my dad and all, but my mama spend like 2 hours. My sister is a extreme extrovert.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are kuluma and she shares every and in anything, right? And she'll do that with my dad. And Mina, I'll share. I'll talk to my dad, but like. Why
Yeah.
must we start talking about Mjolo now? It's uncomfortable for me.
Is it? Yeah.
Whereas with my sister, it's like, yo, Diddy, you know what happened?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yes, but I know with my dad loves me. Like I guess they love us the way that we require love, or the way that we receive
Yeah.
love. Yeah.
And it's funny that you say that because as much as I'd say that my brother is my mom's favorite, funny thing is my mom and I are extremely close. You know, she's that type of person who I can talk to about anything. Same, you know, with her. But you know, as much as we close, I know soft spot for this one,
this
and it's
one.
always been,
Yeah.
you know, the thing. And I've never had a problem with it. But I know that me and her, we cool.
No.
I don't even think she loves me any less. It's
Yeah.
just that might be Wuti. This is my only son, man.
Yes.
You know, right here.
And a
Right
lot of the
here.
times in Jalo, yes, the dads love the
Yeah,
daughters
yeah.
more and the moms
Yeah,
love the
yeah.
sons more.
So
Most of the time it's like
so
that.
Injalo,
Yeah.
is-
But with us, we were two girls, and I think my parents loved us the way that we receive love. I think they just knew, oh, local magakulu, so we'll land in Skulumenai 3 hours. Okay, this one doesn't talk too much, so it's fine. We'll talk whatever needs to be spoken now. And they loved us according to our character.
To your character, yeah.
How
How many siblings? Because I feel like y'all were a lot.
Ooh.
You.
Sure. Hey. So on my side, okay, Mina, I was an experimental child between my mom and dad. Okay.
Yeah.
You're the first.
Okay. First for both.
Okay.
So they decided to die. Mina now, asking years later.
97.
Yeah, I understand. So from my mom's side, C4. From my dad's side, C4 also.
Okay.
So mina ngihlanganisa lo 4 nje kubo
Yeah.
bonke. Yeah. So
And you're the firstborn
yeah.
in both.
On both.
On
Hey,
both ends.
unomthwalo wokuba yi-firstborn lawyer.
It's not easy.
but
Deputy parent.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Mina, I was a deputy parent, like more especially on my mom's side. I was the deputy parent since I was, because bengibheke ngikhuluma nentwana la ukuthi wena ngikhulisile wena, so he's 20 he's 24. So I was like usasemncane wena lona amadiaper wena umncane ukhuliswe yimi, so we're like joking about that.
Favorite
So
son?
nah, no. Even now, okay, from my father's side, nah, because now even now ubaba makabona into wrong, regardless ukuthi ubani uzothethiswa, you gonna you understand. Anifike ekhaya, one time he pop uvele wavela nje, because we I think ngalesikhathi bengana moto ngalesikhathi, so he just wavela ngathethiswa ke, but I understand that's my father.
Not
really, ngoba ngize ekhaya yabona, because they miss us. Nonke niyafana nje, anize ekhaya nani, but I understand ukuthi it's all love. He wants his children to be yabo, and I understand ukuthi benzani bakuphi, I understand, but favoritism, no, not really. But I understand families who go through something efana like now you are the black sheep of the family.
I wanted to say I hated how like my parents tried to treat us so equally, guys, that like if they didn't do it for my sister, they won't do it for me.
Okay.
And that like I always, do you know that I knew my 21st gift before they gave it to me?
Yeah.
Because they bought me the same thing that they bought her.
Yeah.
Like, and
So
then when I got to Varsity, I already knew, but okay, ngizothola laptop and ngizothola win,
because
that's when
it's the
they
same
bought it
thing,
for her. If and I feel like there were things that maybe they wanted to buy for me, that maybe at the time when my sister was growing they couldn't afford them, that they didn't.
Sure.
Because they never did it for her.
But do you think they were trying to balance?
Yes, I think they were trying to balance. They were not trying to be like, oh, ufufu azange simthengele imoto at 21.
Yeah.
So even if we are better financially, by the time the brother turns 21, we will not buy him a car.
That was quite different for me, because me not being the firstborn and my brother being very younger than me, I felt like some other times I wanted to complain. I was like, why is he getting a hand-me-down car and I didn't, you know? And then I think at a later stage I understood that he's a guy, you know? And gogunye nogunye, he is the last born of the family. He is this person who's going to be carrying the family surname. So I would let things slide. So I remember when my dad handed down imoto yake, and it's like, yeah, so mdala, here's a car. I'm like, hello, I've been here.
Yeah.
What's, you know? But I never hold a grudge on my dad. I just believe that he had his reasons. And obviously, ukulusa amfana, you know? So I complain about it, but I was like, man, he's a guy. And I felt like even, because my dad was very strict, there were times where, and obviously, you know, now I want to try this whole dating thing. And I remember this one time my mom called me. It's like, you will not believe your dad is driving your brother and the date to a specific location to have a date. I'm like, wait, what? Dad has never done that for me. It's like, no, you're not going to expect your dad to do that for you. So I could understood. I understand. Ukuthi my brother angama ngaphandle with the friends or kufika intombazane nemoto, but I can't do that because I also need to be very respectful towards, you know, ubabami and stuff like that. So I think with me, I felt like other times, hey man, boy was very privileged.
So
Hey,
crazy, but it's so crazy how, like,
Boy
it's
was
so
very
crazy how
privileged.
our parents, like, now that you speak of that,
Yeah.
like, it's so crazy how our parents really take the time to understand us.
Yeah.
Because Mina, my sister, she was tomboy growing up. Mangambona manje ugqokile and she looks very feminine.
Yeah.
But growing up, bega umfana,
Yeah.
basically. And my dad, the day my sister, she had so many guy friends that the day my sister came with umgan wentombazana, my dad was worried. And it goes to show with like our parents really take the time
Yeah.
to understand, like, who I had a best friend, Jomvan, and Upegi would come, he would literally just knock on the one knock, open,
Yeah.
come in.
And they
The family knew that. But I also feel like that was
Not
grace
okay.
because my sister had
Yeah.
guy friends.
Yeah.
But also, like, then I look at it now when you mention that, like, I have this thing in my mind, which actually, no, man, like, our parents really took the time to, because if it was another parent, I would say, hey, Zalana Bafana.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think he saw the pattern when we tomboy when. Zalana Bafana, Urafu.
And this is why Beganga's Kuzi a lot because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They absolutely did. They take their time because I remember my brother when he got the car. Yo, I was so frustrated. I was like, you know? And then at a later stage when he decided to get me a car, and I was like, why are you now getting me a car? It's like, no, now you need it. You really need it. You know? So the more I grew up, the more I understood.
Yeah.
Ukuthi, there are certain things that happen in Skati, and you know, our journeys will never be the same. Yes, we are siblings, but our journeys will absolutely never be the same.
Ah, man,
Yep.
bravo to our parents. Hey, like, wow.
But also it's also
Okay.
important, I think, also for us, because hey, labo manje bayibona lezi zinto and they complain. Labo manje they quick to say ay why lona thola in I saw ku nithini Thando Nesithembu labantwana laba bakhona anisibuka isithando nesithembu
No,
anisifuna isithembu.
no.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yes, what
labantwana
does that fill us in?
bancane so labantwana bancane ne omunye bathi umnini bamthengele I keyboard. So lo mntana kubo bekangayifuni ifone wamnika ifone yakhe athi I don't like this phone. It's more like I don't like this phone.
Okay.
I'll use my old phone yabo. Athi
Okay.
mnini can take the phone sharp. Mnini sekane keyboard ne phone.
Your phone.
But later waqala manje wa complain athi lo uthole izinto ezi2 thina sithole 1 you understand? So now sekuba naleyo nto leyo baya complain. So but I think it's also important to make our kids understand, because there are different parents abakhona. Kukhona laba angafodi at all. Uthola ukuthi it's uJanuary manje we need to buy I uniform. Uthola ukuthi wena you can't afford, but lo icathulo zakhe mhlawumbe sithengela kubo September
Yeah,
sase right.
right, yeah.
Sithengele lo because we're trying to balance the scale. Sithengele lo because imali ayivume mhlawumbe. Lo must understand ukuthi ezami sase right sharp ngizochuba ngazo abathengele lo so that they can understand. Ningabafihleli because kuzobonakala ngathi oh lo bamthengele icathulo okay mina bangithengele even if kukhona abantwana abamoshayo. Yena zakho imoshe early lona, so lo must understand ukuthi sharp ezakho isase right nyana asithengele lo mase zakho manje so dinga then we buy for you. But when you can afford, then ubathengela, you can't buy this one Samsung kodwa uyabazi bathanda ama iPhone bonke.
Yeah.
If you buy them izinto ngokulingana, it will make peace between them. So angeke kube khona leyo nto leyo. But unless uthola ukuthi sithi siqala ngawe kulenyanga 2 months down the line sithengela wena iPhone sharp balance because of imali.
I think we'll always argue. I remember my aunt. So
Yeah.
my aunt, Gwake, she has this picture frame. There's love, there's peace, and there's hope. So my cousins, so she decided that she's going to put my cousins, all 3 of them. It was an issue.
Yeah,
One was
'cause
like,
why
why
love?
me no love?
Why me?
Why me no peace? Why me no
Oh,
hope? You know, that's always the
Yeah.
case. So I remember that was absolutely
Yeah.
hilarious. Guys, you're
but
all
I
there.
I think there's a level, you know, like there's a level of hurt
Yeah.
that deeply scars someone.
Yeah.
Like things like that are like everyday things, man. Like we will always fight, we will always
True.
but there's things that really like would deeply scar
Yeah.
someone, and those are things like where you are always neglected. Ubhuti wakho is always here.
Yeah.
You know, Ambegala, they cuddle him, they make him, you know, they,
Yeah. Yeah.
And when are you just,
hello.
Yeah, so there's levels. There'll always be like a bickering. I think that's just the nature of my siblings. They'll always be bickering. Why am I here? Why am I not there? But I feel like there's things that happen that are, and I also feel like those things are usually consistent. They happen continuously. Like your birthday is not acknowledged, but the other one every year we cake. Something as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just a slice of cake or cake, yes, we celebrate or whatever. And then when every day says, oh, happy birthday.
Or sometimes you
Oh,
don't even
what's
get
your
it.
birthday,
Yeah, konji birthday
Yeah.
yako, you know? So things like that, I feel like when they happen, like, okay, 1 year I can
Holds a
excuse, but
scar.
maybe, I don't know, maybe they had money now to buy the cake and they didn't when it was my birthday.
Yeah.
But then when it happens the next year, and then the next year again, then it becomes a scar.
Yeah. Uthi vele mina ekhaya nginakwa.
Yeah.
You know, I read a post or a lady, I think it was during the festive season, and she was asked by, you know, her colleagues, why are you working this festive season and you're not going home? And she said, I'm absolutely peaceful by myself with not going home, because home can be extremely toxic, where you are that sibling who works and you are expected to, you know, give money ekaya, but also fend for all the other siblings who are being spoiled, who are not told you need to look for work, but you expected the older sibling who's working to now buy you everything that you need. So I now that you're saying that, sometimes, you know, parents do scar, you know, abantwana by playing a favoritism too much, and like you play it too much to a point to now it's showing.
And I also think sometimes like it's not so much about, because parents will always, I don't have a favorite child, I don't have a favorite. I think it's perception. Like the minute I feel like I am not, and I have reasons why I feel like I am not, then you do have a favorite child.
Yeah.
Just even if when as a parent you can be like, no, like or whatever the
They
case
always
might
say
be.
that.
But if it gets to a point where I, as the child, can feel that I'm not the favorite child, or that I am the favorite child. Because if you do have a favorite child, then that means you have a least favorite child.
Yeah.
We can't both be your favorite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's about me not feeling like there is any favoritism.
So ngicabanga ukuthi yenza ukuthi mhlambe kube khona, it's okay to have a favorite child nanan, but kukhona le bathi hayi, this one is a black sheep of the family. Do I know kuyaziwa ukuthi hayi. But also before sifika ku black sheep of the family, there's another thing mhlambe kumele sibheke. Kunabantwana, kunomntwana ohluphayo, kunomntwana oright.
Yeah.
So we cannot masibakhuza or mhlambe kuthiwe why kuhlala kukhuzwa lo lo ukuthi uhlala ahlupha. You understand? So it's not ukuthi siyamzonda, but simkhuza ngoba uhlala ahlupha.
Why angezwa? Maybe that's also part of the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like why maybe it's attention seeking.
Possibly.
Maybe ngiyahlupa because
Aningnagi.
aningnagi the other child. And so you'll see this even like with abantwana abancane. Like sometimes I can be so deeply invested in our conversation, right? And siyakhuluma. And my daughter's gonna come and she'll run around, she'll jump around, she'll hold me, she'll I know, like when I've been on the phone for too long, even my friend would be like, Sisi, go be with your child. Yeah, but I'm just saying him because she'll do that.
She gets agitated.
Like she'll do that because I'm on a phone call and I took long, and now she'll I'm like, like you don't.
As soon as you give them attention,
yes.
Then.
And then as soon as my phone is off and the attention is all on her,
yeah, because
Crazy.
now you've given her
because
the attention.
now I'm giving her the attention that she needs.
She had wanted.
Exactly. So I feel like sometimes, and it's not all the time, yes, but I feel like sometimes abantwana, they misbehave or do certain things so that I guess when the only time that you give me attention is when I do something wrong. Yes, and the attention that you give me.
And I know you're going to shout at me.
Yeah, I know you're going to. You don't need the attention.
Yes. First thing makafika la endlini.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
At least let me have that attention instead of not having anything at all.
Sure.
Between you and your sister, though, who would you say was the black sheep of the family?
We didn't have a black sheep of the family.
Yeah, my black sheep kunzima, but yeah.
I feel like my sister and I are so similar in let me say in values, let me not say in character,
Yeah.
because she has a very different personality from me.
True.
But I feel like our values are very we
Rooted.
rooted in our values,
Yeah.
and they're very similar.
Yeah.
So I feel like my parents never, my dad, my dad is one person who would always say like, I'm proud of you girls. I'm proud to see like I didn't encounter this thing, to jump on my fence, like those things. And he acknowledges that, and he does tell us, it's like, I'm so proud of you. Like I didn't have to deal with that. So I feel like we didn't have a black sheep because just the two of us, and we're the same.
Let's wrap it up.
Were you a black sheep? Wait, back up.
How? We can't wrap it up.
A black sheep of the family?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No.
Do you
Still
have a
today,
sibling?
I think between me and my Lomfo to Long Lamai,
Yeah.
Yena, when it comes to Ukoko, he feels like mina nyathanda kakhulu. You understand? Guye. But when I explained to him, good baba, bega 1 2 3, bega 1 2 3. You understand? Because when I try ukuthi balance izinto, even ekhaya ukuthi okay, ngilalele, okay, ubani ungakwadi without understanding ukuthi kwenzakalani. But black sheep, not really. Not really. Maybe yena he feels like he's the least favorite, but yeah. So it differs with my dynamic. Ekhaya man, I mean besinganaso lesikhathi ukuthi ngifavorite ngiyini because into besifuna nje, I mean ugogo bekasihlangana mina ngikhulisa ugogo. So bogogo you don't really get that thing your favoritism. You do at some situations, but nah sikhule kahle bese worried ukuthi sizodlana ntambama.
Phela.
Yeah,
That's all you have to worry
gogo.
about,
Okay, sharp.
Do you think that parent favoritism does create resentment, Godwa?
Definitely.
Just generally
Yeah.
speaking, because I feel like now we've dived so much into our
Yeah.
lives
Yes.
and how our family dynamics were. But like, what do you think that it does create that resentment, and how does it affect the both of the kids?
Yeah.
How does it affect the one who feels like they are the least favorite, and how does it affect the one who is always the favorite?
I feel like it does. Also depending on the situation, it does, because now lo ubona ngathi akasi favorite, they always angebajabule kunaleyo nto leyo ukuthi angijabulanga, because kufana nokuthi ubani bamthengela mina bangithengela, ubani bamthengela a nicer sneaker mina bangithengela, you understand? So uloku uyayibona lento le, and it builds at the later stage. Uthola ukuthi even na kuye akasathandi, ugcina egcineni angathandi, number one the sibling, number two abazali, because masomdala those things they do come back like kahle kahle nina dala vele ningangithandi like so now sekane voice athi kahle kahle dala ningangithandi awuthi ngihlalele egoli ngingeze ekhaya, understand? Because even if I vusa at the later stage, because lento le it can go up until forever, noma sekayivusa athi kahle kahle la ekhaya beningazitreat ngokufana, then they be defensive abazali, parents. They be like, but hi, bekuso.
And I've also picked up that at a later stage, until you address it with parents were not aware that they were treating you differently.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like you mentioned, Uguti, they treat us, based on our character.
Yeah.
So if I am a child who doesn't complain a lot, if my brother is going to be getting clothes every month and I don't complain, and when I get those clothes once in a blue moon, it's always been like, no maturity, angeka complain, we understand. At that time, I'm not understanding, but the resentment keeps on building because I don't want to complain anymore. This is what you do.
Yeah.
So sometimes you find out when you actually sit down and parents will be like, yes, they absolutely have no idea because they were treating you based on the person, that you are. Maybe the younger brother is the one person who nags all the time.
Yeah.
I need this. And you're that one person. Once a month, you're like, okay, I'm going to need a sneaker. I'm going to need a t-shirt. Bese wena, that's it, you're done. So sometimes parents always think, no, ushap. Anything. And sometimes as kids, you just want to be, spoiled spontaneously by your parents. Without even asking, my mom decided that, no, she needs pair of sneakers. So sometimes abazali aren't aware ukuthi treat her differently with your siblings.
So with that said, so it's important whenever umzali akhona ukuthi when you buy this one something, buy them ngendlela elo nayo. Sometimes it will be lo yayidinga lo akayidingi or lo yayithanda into enjalo, understand? So
Because like with me, I think recently, it happened recently, Epdalin bit with me and my brother, where my mom decided she's going to give my brother money. And when I found out, I was like, I mean, why am I paying money? She's like, no, back up, girl. I took you out for shopping. Like, oh. Then I had to come back to earth. I'm like, oh, snap. Okay. Then, because we are not going to be treated the same. Maybe Omunye might prefer, please don't buy me anything, but just give me money. And Omunye might like the acts of service of being bought certain things. So it's different.
Yeah. I do think that it's very important for parents to be cognizant of how they parent and also to be cognizant of the different personalities that their kids have and how to show up for each of them, because I think sonke as kids we want to make our parents proud.
Absolutely.
And if I'm gonna I feel like the psychological effects of that of having a favorite child and it being visible, this is your favorite child, it has such long-lasting effects on these kids psychologically, because I feel like sometimes, like if you know you are not the favorite child, number one, I feel like your self-esteem and your self-worth is not up there. Like you will probably have self-esteem issues because you never feel like you're good enough. You feel inadequate. You feel like maybe you even be a people pleaser in society because
I was about to say that
I now need to prove myself to everyone around me that no, I'm worth
it.
I'm worth you loving me. I feel like there's also there's also the reaction that they would have. Would see, because it doesn't matter mankona in this space with my parents, then I'd rather it's okay to isolate. You see it even asendlini. Maybe hlala serumini lakhe, hlala ayiwani, doesn't bother anyone. And as they grow up, they don't go home. Isolation. Sometimes it would be, I don't maybe show up where I'm supposed to, or I don't finish things that I start because why does it matter
anyway?
Or why does it even matter? No one's gonna say I'm proud of you. No one cares if ngiyaqeda isikolo or angiqedi, if like no one cares. So those psychological effects, I feel like those are the things that when you start having favoritism or as a parent, catching yourself where you can see with, no, like, I'm treating this one ganje, I'm treating this one ganje, maybe let me adjust. Think about those things. You will see the actions that you are taking now or how you're treating your kids has a long-lasting effect on them, and it determines the kind of person that they're going to be even in society. Abantwana abangathandwa or not being treated, I'll say abangathandwa, the least favorites. A lot of the times they are the ones that like you find them, they are troublesome. Also like she's depressed or they suffer from anxiety or whatever, but they have like mental issues because my parents don't love me. And so you don't feel like you're worth
people like that who have difficulty with when it comes to friendships at a later stage. Because what you're saying, when you're suffering from confidence issues, now you've got complexity and inferior issues amongst your friends. Now you are that one person who wants to control the entire group because back home, so you're right.
It's either that, like,
it has a ripple effect at a later
sometimes
stage in
they're
life.
bullies, like in Skoleni. They are the bullies because endlini I'm neglected and nifuni attention. Remember, so even that, it's I want to be praised amongst my friends. So it's either it can be that extreme, I want to be praised, or it can even be now I'm an introvert. Like now, that's not even their personality. Like this person is not I'm not saying introverts have
there's
issues
a problem
and whatnot. No, I'm saying they hold back so much that they end up not voicing out maybe their feelings or their concerns or whatever. Like everything is okay. Like okay. Like,
so it's Kat's child. Let's wrap it up. I think we are covered. Simnandi. Also, I think there was something I wanted to add, but I think because of time. Also, gunale dynamic the step kids as well. But we'll need a part 2 of this thing.
Yeah, because I still want to, like, I still also want to talk about how it affects favoritism affects even the one who's favored. Because sometimes you can't function in society because when are your parents, all you've known is I'm proud of you. Now you get to work, we can't say I'm proud of you. No,
and now you're being reprimanded. Yeah.
Time.
Because of time, we're wrapping this up. So yeah, it has been the LNR podcast. We out.
Bye.